There is an invisible formula that every viral video follows. I'm not talking about thumbnails or titles. I mean the actual words they say in the exact order they say them. We analyze hundreds of viral scripts across every niche, and what we found completely changes how you should think about writing content. There are exactly 4 blockers that kill most videos before they even have a chance. But here's what nobody tells you. There's a system to bypass all 4 of them, and by the end of this video, you'll have the complete framework. Here's what happens to most creators when they sit down to write a script. They have a great idea, they know their topic, they open a blank document and freeze. Maybe they write a few sentences, delete them, write a few more, check YouTube for inspiration, come back, and they're still stuck. 2 hours later, they have something that feels okay. Not great, just okay. And here's the thing, it's not because they're bad writers, it's because they don't have a system. When you don't have a system, every script is a blank canvas. You're solving the same problems from scratch every single time. That's exhausting and it's slow. But when you study what viral creators actually do, not what they say in interviews, but what's actually in their scripts, you find they're all following the same patterns. There are 4 specific blockers that cause what we call the blank page problem. And once you understand them, you can solve each one systematically. Let me walk you through all 4. So when you sit down to write a script, your brain gets stuck on 4 questions, whether you realize it or not. Blocker 1, the interestingness blocker. What is actually interesting about the topic that I should include? Blocker 2, the hook blocker. What's the best way to hook the viewer in the first few seconds? Blocker 3, the storytelling blocker. If I hook them, how do I structure the rest to keep them watching? Blocker 4, the engagement blocker. How do I make them actually like, comment, or share when it's over? When you don't have a clear answer to any of these questions, that's when you freeze. That's when a script takes 3 hours instead of 30 minutes. That's when you end up with something that feels mediocre. But here's what's powerful. Once you have a formula for each blocker, the blank page problem disappears. So let me show you how to solve each one. Let's start with the first blocker, figuring out what's actually interesting about your topic. Here's the principle. Interestingness comes from shock value. Specifically, it's the distance between what someone already knows about a topic and what you tell them in the video. The greater this distance, the greater the shock, and the more they have to stick around to see if it's true. Let me give you an example. There's a video about a Russian engineer who built a fully functional Iron Man suit in his garage. Interesting premise, right? But here's the detail that made it explode. The guy claimed he invented the world's first personal hydrogen reactor, the glowing thing in Iron Man's chest. When you hear that, your immediate reaction is, there's no way that's true. How could some random guy in a garage build a hydrogen reactor? That's disbelief. That question you can't help but ask is the shock. That's what makes people keep watching. That video got 40 million views in 5 days. So here's the tactical framework. When you're researching a topic, assess every fact on what we call a shock score of 1 to 100. Out of 100 people, how many would have heard this before? If 80 out of 100 people wouldn't know it, that's a shock score of 80. Those are the facts you build your video around. This works for entertainment and education. What do you know about your topic that most people don't? Write these things down. That's where true interestingness lives. Now, once you have your interesting facts, the next question is, how do you hook the viewer? This is where most creators guess, but you don't have to. After analyzing hundreds of viral scripts, we identified exactly 9 hook formulas that work across every single niche. Number 1, the secret review. Google just released 4 free AI trainings that make it way faster to learn AI. Number 2, the case study. Alex Hormozi just sold 100 million worth of books in 3 days using this method. Number 3, comparison. What's the difference between a beginner creator and an experienced one? Number 4, question. Can you bake sourdough bread in under an hour using only household ingredients? Number 5, education. Here's the easiest way to use ChatGPT to create content. Number 6, list. These are the 5 best Premiere Pro templates you can use for free. Number 7, contrarian. Jaguar's rebrand is one of the worst design blunders in history. Number 8, personal experience. When I was in college, I used this sleep technique to only sleep 3 hours a night. Number 9, problem. If you struggle with acne, this is one obvious solution that will clear it right up. Here's the key insight. In every niche, only 1 or 2 of these formulas consistently crush. The psychology of consuming different topics varies. Tech audience respond differently than fitness audience. Finance viewers have different expectations than gaming viewers. So the question becomes, how do you know which hook format works best for your niche? This is where having the right tools makes all the difference. This is exactly the problem that we built Viral Canvas to solve. Instead of manually watching dozens of videos trying to figure out what's working, you can analyze top performing content in your niche and see exactly which hooks and formats are driving the results. So we simply copy the URL, create a file group, and paste it into Viral Canvas, and then we can add the video and do maybe 2 or 3 videos. Next, we connect the AI chat. Next, I create a file. I upload a file that's the ultimate script writing prompt, and this prompt is basically everything we talked about in the video. I'm gonna give it away for free, and we're just gonna connect it to the chat, and then you can also use it even if you're using viralcanvas.ai or not. It can be very helpful to put into any AI program. We use Opus 4.5 and connect many things to make a complex prompt, and I think this is the best way to use the script, but the prompt script, but use it any way that you see fit. Now I just enlarged the chat screen and put in this prompt, and now we're just gonna click on enter and see what it gives us. So now, as you can see, we have the hook structure analysis. It had all 3 videos had different hooks, and so the first one had list. It used 2 hooks, list and curiosity stacking, and then it goes on to explain the details of the second video and why it's working. And then it just kind of analyzes all 3 of the videos and talks about how you can implement this into your own videos and why it works. So the countdown tease, striking intriguing elements fast, then reveal it's a list, works for high volume scroll stopping content. The assumption flip, here's what everyone thinks, but actually this works for audiences who consider themselves informed. And the humble expert, this is, even the experts are baffled by this, works when you want to create awe. Let's talk about the third blocker. How do you structure the rest of the video after the hook? Just like there are 9 hook formats, there are 7 story structures that viral videos use consistently. Number 1, breakdown, explaining a concept in building blocks. Number 2, newscaster, factual recounting of an event. Number 3, the case study explainer, teaching a framework through someone's results. Number 4, listicle, ordered list of items. Number 5, problem solver, agitate a pain, deliver a solution. Number 6, tutorial, step-by-step walkthrough. Number 7, personal story, first-person narrative with lessons. And here's the critical insight. Certain story structures pair better with certain hooks. If you use a case study hook, you almost always want a case study, explainer, or breakdown structure. If you use a problem hook, problem solver, or tutorial structures work best. The viewer's brain expects a certain kind of story based on how you open. When you deliver on that expectation, they say, when you don't, they bounce, even if your content is good. This is why so many videos with great information still get poor retention. The hook promises one thing and the structure delivers something else. Match your hook to your structure and retention climbs almost automatically. Now, let me show you how all of this comes together in practice. The first step we would do is research topic and identify high shock facts. You're looking for anything that would make someone say, wait, really? And score everything 1 to 100. Step 2, analyze what hooks and structures are working in your niche. With viralcanvas.ai, you can see the patterns across top performing videos almost instantly. You just paste in a few videos and get the structure. Step 3, pick your hook format and write it using the formula. Then select your story structure and outline the body. Now, step 4 would be to slot your high shock facts into the structure. And this, I would say, you might not want to use the AI for, although I have done that in the past, and it's actually been pretty good at how it can recognize what fact would be highest shocking. So you would want to put your second best point first to create an upward momentum pattern and to keep people in the curiosity loop. So what used to take 90 minutes of writing would now take about 20 or 90 minutes of research rather. And more importantly, the scripts perform because they're built on patterns that actually work. It's not just intuition and it's not just the AI, junk coming out. We're actually giving it a lot of structure. So one more blocker to cover, and this one is also often overlooked. This is the engagement blocker. How do you make people actually engage after watching? Here's the principle. The greater the emotional transfer, the more likely someone is to engage. There are 6 emotional buckets you can target: awe and inspiration, amusement and humor, excitement and joy, anger and outrage, surprise, shock, and curiosity, sadness, and empathy. Before you write any script, write the target emotion at the top of your page. It acts as a filter for every decision you make. If you're going for surprise, every fact you include should amplify that feeling. If you're going for inspiration, the story arc needs to build towards a triumphant moment. This sounds simple, but it's the difference between a video people watch and a video people share. Now, let's recap the complete framework. The first thing is to find the high shock facts, score everything 1 to 100. 2, pick a proven hook format, there are 9, and use what's already working in your niche. 3, match it to a story structure, there are 7. The pairing matters more than most people realize. 4, target an emotion, write it at the top of your page, and filter every decision through it. This is the system that separates creators who grind for hours from creators who produce viral content consistently. Now, if you want to take this even further, I have something special for you. As I already mentioned, we created a custom prompt that walks you through this entire framework step by step. You paste it into viralcanvas.ai, and it guides you through finding your shock facts. It helps you choose your hook format. It matches your structure and targeting to the right emotion. It basically turns this entire video into an interactive workflow you can use every time you write a script. It's completely free. Just click the link in the description and give us your email so we can send it. And if you're interested in doing it with viralcanvas.ai, we do have a 5-day free trial. And afterwards, our plans start at $10 a month, goes up to $100 a month. And we have a lot of options in between. And that's based off of the credit system. So if you want to shortcut the research and analysis, Viral Canvas is very robust. You can connect your personality, articles that you wrote, so that it will write in your tone and, with your personality included in there. And pro tip, if you don't have a lot of articles, you can get like your Enneagram profile or some psychological profile that's been pretty accurate. Basically, even without any of the tools, this framework should work. The patterns are real, the formula is real. So drop a comment and tell me which blocker you struggle with most. I read all of the comments and it helps us know what to cover next, and see you on the next one.